Hello everybody and welcome back to Building the Enterprise D series here on the channel. Last video we made a start on issue 18. We had a look at stages 67 and 68 and got them completed. We added a couple of saucer panels on there to the underside as well as one that kind of connected the top and bottom layers. We also had another look at adding some of the pylon to the nacelle section. So what we're going to do today, we're going to look at stages 69 and 70. Yes, that's right, we're going to have a look at 69 and 70, we'll be on to the 70s. Stage 69, quite a short section, it's just adding some details to the large piece of the battle section hull. But 70, a little bit more involved, it's going to be another saucer panel, as well as just a couple more detailing for later on. So it shouldn't be too long a video today. I'm not expecting too much from it. But with that said, let's have a look and start with stage 69. Stage 69. God, I can't believe we're here already. I keep on commenting about how quickly this has gone. I've nearly been doing this, I mention this every video, but I've nearly been doing this for a year now. Stage 69 is not a very short stage at all. It's comprised of one step. So we're just going to do stage 69 and 70 in the one long thing. It's really not much point talking about it. Add details to a large piece of the battle section hull plating in a short but essential stage. That's your the battle section hull. These are the two bits of detail we're adding to it. It's these horrible little stickers. I really don't like these because they don't necessarily sit in nicely and they don't always fully stick down properly. But it's what we've got, so I might use some plastic glue if I have problems with them. But this is literally a case. Take them out, and that's one. And this is number 2. So these are called transporter emitter pads, apparently. And 1 and 2. There you go. Stage 69 complete. They really, well, what is there really to say about that? Let's go straight on to stage 70. There's no point in dwelling on that, is there? Normally I do like a fade in and out, but it seems really pointless for that. Stage 70, this is another fairly short one, it looks like. But continue to join the upper and lower panels around the rim of the saucer, begin work on the battle section rear. So let me just go get me pack with stage 70. What have we got here? So it's another panel with some escape pods. Screw that down, attach that to the saucer. Absolutely, simple stuff. I mean, in the last video, I thought attaching it to the saucer was going to be quite tricky because the first panel like that attached to the saucer was really, really hard to do so. But I think it was more because of the navigation point light at the front, which was making it difficult for me to get everything in place properly. It could also be the case that when you've got one of them down, it just falls into place really nicely. Who knows? I'm getting caught on my cable. I'm not wearing the sort of t-shirt I'd normally wear for recording. Normally I wear a bit of a looser t-shirt. I'm actually wearing a Middlesbrough Football Club shirt today. It's the third kit of the 2020-2021 season we released. It's like a special edition third shirt that was released sort of by the NFC Foundation, I believe, as like a charity thing. And it's got a lovely picture, like graphic of like the transporter bridge on there. It's a really nice white colour. It's a very nice shirt. It might be a surprise for you all, but I am a big football fan and I support Middlesbrough. I don't really talk about my love of football too much because a lot of the people I know and I'm friends with aren't overly keen or interested. I do, however, the other thing that I love, I think I mentioned this before, I don't really talk about it too much either, is my love of wrestling. Big wrestling fan. Grew up watching WWE, or what, WWF back then, because, when I started watching it, it was WWF back in the early 90s. And then it changed to WWE, but yeah, big wrestling fan. My mum got me into that. And now, I don't watch WWE at the moment. I follow it, like, the results and stuff. But I am one of them people, kind of lapsed WWE fan, who has gone across to AEW now. Because I just kind of enjoy it more, I guess. I enjoy the wrestlers there a bit more. I enjoy the stories there a bit more. If this might be meaningless to a vast number of you. Because I imagine there might be some people watching this who's like, oh, he likes wrestling, but isn't that fake? And I'd love to... One thing I would love to do, I'd love to sit on like a nerdy podcast one day and have various episodes dedicated to the number of things I enjoy and other nerdy people enjoy. Because I don't know if you've noticed through the God knows how many episodes of this that there are now, I enjoy talking. I really, really enjoy talking about the things I love. Whether it is Star Trek, Evangelion, wrestling, or anything else. Right, let me just double check something. I think I've left it in the bag. Well, it might have fallen out, but there was an escape pod that came with this. Like one extra escape pod. And we did it in the last video. Where it just kind of fell. Let's see if we we will need it. Bear with me just 2 seconds for me to find that. Okay, we're back. Apologies for that. I had to go find that one little bit. You can see one very, very small part. So what had happened, and this happened with 2 more parts in this particular shipment, the bag that contained these bits was actually open a little bit along the side. And what it meant is some part had actually spilled out into the box itself. This particular bit here was tucked under one of the like flaps of the box. So, yeah, just another thing, I guess. Sorry, I'm just moving my chair. That's why I sounded a little bit panicked there. Just be careful of any small parts, because the 2 small parts that had spilled out as well that I used in this stage, I have in here. This Final Fantasy music box. And look at those. Look how small they are. And that's quite annoying that they got spilled out. Anyway, let's continue on with the build. So we've got all the windows in place, escape pods in place. And we're just going to pop that over like that. And then we're going to take our AM screws, that's FM. Our AM screws. And we're going to pop 2 out of here. The shortest stage we actually made artificially longer because I had to go look for parts. So yeah, that's a thing and a half, isn't it? So 1 screw is in. I can't remember what I was talking about before I had to jump away there. Yeah, I was just talking about one of my things I would love to do this year is with like a friend or whatever too. Do a kind of nerdy podcast where we just sort of talk about like, things I enjoy, like Star Trek, Evangelion, anime, manga, wrestling, so on and so forth. Even like music, because I'm immensely nerdy about music. But it's just, it's finding the time to do that kind of thing. I sometimes struggle to find time to do these between my regular job and sort of balancing other commitments to things, but hopefully we can keep it up. I'm still trying to aim to do 1 video a week. Whether that slips from time to time, who knows? Maybe it will. In a way, I'm quite lucky I have this build to do, because this provides me with with at least 2 videos every couple of weeks now, every month or so, because each one is 4 stages, so you get 2 videos out of it. Didn't plan that. Something I will be doing this year, I probably won't be doing it for a recording, but I'll probably be showing it off, is I'll be doing I think it's Revel model of Starship Voyager. I've always been intrigued by it. I've never done one of them sort of Airfix or Revel models. Always kind of fancied it, but just never really got around to it. But with me doing Warhammer, I've got a bit more confidence in painting and modelling and stuff. So a friend of mine actually had one, just this collecting dust, so they're sending me it to have a go with, which I'm very excited and very, very grateful for that, actually. You know, very, very thankful for that. Right, so what's next on our grand plan? So we need to get our FM screws ready. I'm just going to move everything to the one side. Make sure we are ready, because we are going to attach that panel to the saucer. So let's get our saucer ready, shall we? You know, one of the toughest things about making these videos has actually been is coming up with clever titles sometimes for them. I say clever, as if half of my titles have been in any way, shape or form clever. Right, we've got our saucer back. Let's move that back down there. So what we want to do, and this wasn't as tricky on the previous one, so let's hope that we have a bit of a trend there. Let's get our FM screws ready. So I want to make sure you're all kind of can see that. So the one thing is, like I've mentioned before, these aren't exactly completely flush, but I'm hoping, you know, that won't really matter too much. But what we want to do, we want to sort of, so position it so that the outer flame is overlapping the deck panel. And then it's just a matter of making sure that's in. Get as far across as we can. Okay, I think that is in. And that is definitely overlapping. I can feel that. It's overlapping. So let me just get the first screw. Pop that in. I did drop that screw on the floor. I'll pick that up in a second. Okay, that's in, that's feeling good. There we go, that's in as well. And what that is doing as well, that I can already feel immediately, is the sort of edge panels from the top half of the saucer are starting to pull in a little bit tighter. So I think as we keep going round, it's actually going to just feel that little bit stronger. I can feel it more and more. On this side, it's definitely a lot more flush than the opposite side. Not quite perfect, but, you know, it was never going to be. You know, I think you've got to be like a super expert at this sort of thing to get it perfect. I will maintain it's not as easy as I think it was sold to be. There's a lot of difficulty and frustration involved here, but by and large, it's still manageable if you are a beginner, like someone like me. But there we go. So now, with the bottom half of the saucer, quite a sizable chunk on there. So I guess what we're waiting for next, there isn't really a next time on and build the Enterprise D here. But I'm going to assume next will be more of the skeleton. But that's us done with the saucer for the moment. So let me pop you away over here for the time being. And we're on to the last bit, step C, which identify the battle section rear and the two supply ports. Use a pair of CP screws to attach the ports to the inside of the battle section rear so that the pins on each port are visible from the outside. Stage 70 is now complete. So there we go, that's the battle section rear. And we want, let's get our screws sorted for that. Which ones do we want? The CP screws. So we'll open up my Final Fantasy music box there. And we'll get the 2 parts out. So we see how small they are. So what we want to do... Okay, so... Oh, I don't know how exactly to show these, but there's 2 little plugs at the end. So what we're going to want to do is find the back of it like that and pop that over. Make sure that is just... It's always a problem sometimes with these being so small. It's quite hard to make those fine adjustments that that's needed. I've moved the camera so much during this recording session, it's ridiculous. Bring you across a bit more. As if I'm physically moving you. There. So if we come from the opposite side, we can... There, that's one in. And then we'll screw that one down immediately. I've got the 2 screws out. Right, that's screwed in. And yeah, so what you'll see is they'll protrude just sort of there. It's kind of difficult, I guess, to see it. I mean, I don't know if it is. It's difficult to see because I record this on a phone camera. I don't know what you're watching this on. So if you're watching this on like a big TV, which absolutely boggles my mind as to people watching this on a TV, but I know some people do, then you might be able to see that quite clearly. If you're watching it on a standard monitor, hopefully you will. If you're watching it on a phone, it might be difficult. Anyway, that's the other one in there. And yeah, those are protruding nicely there as well. So, that's it. Stage 70 complete. Another kind of short and sweet video, I guess you could say. As always, thank you all very much for taking the time to watch this. I'll just, I'll do, actually. So with some of the parts we've got now, you can kind of see how it's sort of starting to take a bit of shape. But if we also grab, if we grab the nacelle pile, this nacelle skeleton, you can see that goes there like that. Then that'll go there like that, and it's, yeah, really, sort of starting to get a bit more together now. I do wonder what the next sort of main section we're going to be building up will be. I wonder when I'm going to get to that second nacelle, but you know, we'll wait and see when we get to issue 19. So as always, thank you all very much for taking the time to watch this. It's super appreciated. Please leave likes, leave comments, share the video around, let other people know what's going on here. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.